Now, your First Alert Weather Super 7-day forecast.
2 severe thunderstorm warnings in North Georgia. The first one right over the city of Helen with large hail and high winds. This is moving eastward very quickly, so heads up in northern Habersham County as well as Rabun County. Going to see this storm continue to move off to the east. A second severe storm is in southeastern Gilmer County. This is now moved away from Ellijay, moving to the east, a little bit to the southeast too, so this is likely to impact Dahlonega in the next 30 minutes with high winds and possible hail there as well. These storms have shown some rotation, but thankfully they have not rose up to tornado warning level just yet, but the environment is becoming more favorable for spin-up tornadoes as we go through the rest of this evening, which is why we are in a tornado watch until the rest of the night. Here's a closer look at that strong storm. You can see the brighter pinks, even a little bit of black showing up in First Alert radar, indicating the potential for quarter-sized hail, if not a little larger than that potentially. Again, as that storm moves off to the east, that is the county line here. So this is going to be moving into northern Habersham and southwestern Rabun County in the next few minutes as the forward speeds of these storms exceeding 50+ miles per hour. Also some rough weather in Hall County, but this is not severe. But right now you're still seeing some storms in Gainesville. Across metro Atlanta, things are quieter than they were. We had some big storms roll through the North Metro about 45 minutes ago. They have moved out. A second line of storms, nothing too strong at the moment in northeast Alabama and northwest Georgia, Floyd and Chattooga County. Again, we will be watching all of these storms closely for further strengthening. Again, the environment ahead of this cold front remains favorable for possible severe weather throughout the rest of the night. Nighttime storms can be especially dangerous. Tornado watch does continue for most of our coverage area until 2 a.m. Thursday morning, and that does include metro Atlanta. First Alert Futurecast does keep us quite busy and stormy through the next several hours. This is going to continue past midnight. At some point, though, the severe weather threat should start to shift south and east of metro Atlanta, but the flooding threats will continue as we see heavy downpours and storms continue all the way through daybreak on Thursday. This is why at least the first part of Thursday is also a First Alert weather day, and that some of those early commutes certainly could be very treacherous with rain and storms sticking around. We'll have that severe threat overnight, the chance of rain 100%. We're still in a level 2 risk of severe weather through daybreak on Thursday, but the good news, Thursday afternoon, we'll start to see some clearing. I mentioned nighttime storms can be dangerous. Multiple ways to get warnings and watches sent straight to your phone. The best way, having the First Alert weather app. It has the hour-by-hour forecast and the weather team's video updates throughout the evening. Mother's Day weekend, we are going to be mostly dry on Saturday. First Alert weather day for more rain and storms on Sunday. And again, we'll keep you posted on that on air and on our website, atlantanewsfirst.com.